Sorry, I gotta get back in here because the wind won't let me freaking finish shooting my video here. Alright, anyway. What's up, Lawn Kids? I'm Jake the Lawn Kid. Thank you for coming back for yet another week. What we did is we talked a little bit about, fertilizer timing, and then we talked about what the numbers mean on the bag. What do you do if you can't find starter fertilizer? We did a little bit of math, and we also applied the products. So we did a whole lot in that video. If you want, I'll leave the video right up here, and I'll also link it above up here if you're watching this on a portable device. For those of you guys who just want the straight to the point and honest, I made an error on the math. Times 5, that'll give me ½ pound. So the error in the math I made is when I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 40 by 8 and multiply the N rate, which is 0.12, by 5. And that actually gave me just over ½ pound of nitrogen. Now this is where it all goes downhill, because what I decided to do here is mistakenly round down and act like it was 1/2, and from there all the math was wrong. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, Jake, why is this not upsetting you, man? I mean, do you realize what you did, man? You made one video that you want to link back to for people to look at. Anytime you mention starter fertilizer, this is the video you want to link back to, so you're just going to let this mistake go? You're not going to delete the video or anything? The answer to that is a straight N-O. I would never delete a video just because I made an error in it. You know why? Because this is not a fancy TV show. I'm not a fancy TV show host, as a lot of you guys know. This is YouTube, a place to be real and honest. Any of you creators out there, I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Whenever you make a long-term commitment to do something like this, to make a weekly blog or really anything, you guys even know this, that you cannot be afraid to fail. You guys happen to know that one of the biggest challenges we face is failure. And believe it or not, the only way to overcome it is not to be afraid of it. Arnold Schwarzenegger said it himself in his 6 rules to success. Rule number 3, never be afraid to fail.
Rule number 3, don't be afraid to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions. You can't be paralyzed by fear of failure, or you will never push yourself.
Let's take a look at our bag. The analysis is a 12-12-12 NPK, 12% nitrogen, 12% phosphorus, and 12% potassium. It's a 40-pound bag, and it covers 4,000 square feet. That's all the basics I need to know right there to help me out with the math. So when it comes to figuring out how much N, P, and K we're going to get out of our product, we need to take our bag poundage and multiply it by the analysis. So the bag we're using is a 12-12-12, so we don't have to repeat the process over so many times like we would with many fertilizers. So we're going to take 40 and times it by 0.12. That gives us 4.8. And to make my math easy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to round 4.8 to 5 pounds. So for those of you guys who want to be careful, you want to put it down at that half rate, all you got to do is look at the math. 40 times 0.12. So think of it this way. So you know that equals 5 pounds when you round, and just ask yourself, what's 5 divided by 10? 1/2, right? So the same thing with 40. Take 40 divided by 10, you get 4. So 4 times 0.12 is going to give you 0.48. Of course, what I did is I went ahead and rounded to 0.5 to make my math easy, and as you guys know, 0.5 is 1/2. If I put this bag down at 4 pounds per thousand, that's going to give me a ½ pound of nitrogen, a ½ pound of phosphorus, and a ½ pound of potassium. And of course, because my lawn is 2,600 square feet and I've decided to round to make my math easy, because not every unit pumps out 100%, I'm going to round to 3,000. And I'm going to put down about 12 pounds to cover 3,000 square feet. So if you're looking to get closer to that 3/4 pound range, the best rate to put this down at would be 6 pounds per thousand. 6 times 0.12 is going to be 0.72. And of course, to make my math easy, I'm going to go ahead and round that up to 0.75, which, as you guys know, is 3/4. So that tells me that I'm going to need 6 pounds per thousand square feet to get a 3/4 N, 3/4 P, and 3/4 K. So if I'm going to put it down at 6 pounds per thousand, and you guys know, because as we multiply by 3, because my lawn is 3,000, because I rounded to make my math easy, I'm going to put down about 18 pounds of the bag, so just about half the bag. And this comes to another question I know you guys are going to ask. Jake, what about the recommended rate you were saying about phosphorus? I thought you only wanted it to be at least a half or less than half. And that's true, guys, but you got to remember this, especially when you're getting like a triple fertilizer where the analysis is the same for all three elements. You can't really do too much to change it. You're going to get the same amount of everything no matter what you do. And I'm here to tell you guys that you don't have to worry a whole lot because, again, it's an organic fertilizer. It's not going to burn anything. So if you do over apply, it's not going to burn. It's going to give it that extra boost. It's going to help the lawn because, as you guys know, phosphorus works on the root growth. So that's going to also encourage the roots to push a little bit deeper, which again is a win-win situation.